Hello, Tony Davis here, marriage and family therapist in Los Angeles. And I wanted to talk briefly about my latest blog post, which is about how to reboot your relationship during the holidays. Um, I was not sure about writing about this because there's so many articles about the holidays and relationships, and I wondered what I could add to it that might be not something that's not just repeating what's all out there. And hopefully I succeeded, but I'm going to just kind of outline briefly in this video the 3 points that I make, and then if you're interested, you can certainly go and read the article. Uh, the thing about the holidays that is stressful, whether you're in a relationship or not, is that often what I hear is expectations go up and our tolerance goes down because we're stressed. Uh, we're trying to get everything done while still working, and then we're trying to pay for everything, please everyone. Um, it's a difficult time, and I remember at one point thinking, This isn't what it's supposed to be." Um, I know that I generally host a holiday gathering, and um, I've had people show up to that holiday gathering tell me, "Oh yeah, I have 3 or 4 events to go to tonight," and that just sounds exhausting to me. I like to commit to one event, but again, I don't know what people's obligations are. I don't judge it. It just sounds exhausting to me. It doesn't sound fun to go to 4 events in one night. It sounds like work. Uh, So when you look at the holidays and your tolerance is going down, your stress levels are going up, you can imagine how it would wear on a relationship. We want more from our partners, and maybe they have less to give. Um, Maybe they want more from us, and we have less to give. So the points that I kind of outlined have to do with some very obvious things, uh, but they are often uh, put aside during the holidays. The first one is harnessing gratitude. I've really gotten into mindfulness uh, recently, or not so recently, just as a way to kind of counter the anxiety that is happening in the culture right now and in my life. And one of the best mindfulness practices is practicing gratitude, because in order to practice gratitude, you actually have to stop and think about what you're grateful for. And when I'm thinking about what I'm grateful for, I'm not thinking about the things that I'm not grateful for. And so it's a good training for the brain, almost as though you're putting on a different set of glasses and looking for the things that are working rather than the things that aren't working. It's not necessarily positive psychology, because you're not ignoring the things that aren't working. You're just not spending all your time looking at them. And this includes in relationship. We can focus on that one thing that our partner is not doing well, where they may be doing 10 things very well that we just take for granted. So, gratitude is an intentional act. That's the point here. Our brains are naturally going to go for what's not happening well. So, you have to train it to look for what's going well and acknowledge that. Gratitude is a major component in successful relationships, and it's easy to harness it. It's just a shift in what you notice. Um, the second point that I kind of expressed in this article is having intentional wishes about your relationship during the holidays. So instead of just kind of barreling through, bouncing from event to event or obligation to obligation, that you sit down with your partner and actually say, how do we want to come out of this holiday season? How do we want to go through it? What do we want our relationship to look like in the middle of all the busyness? How are we going to carve time out for ourselves, and what's realistic? Uh, what are the opportunities for our relationship this holiday season? Intention is another mindfulness exercise because it makes you stop and think about what you're up to at any given time. And when you're thinking about what you're up to, you're not really thinking about the future or the past. So, intentional wishes can be very powerful at any time, but especially during the holidays. They are a way to help you work better as a team, um, and and make sure that you have a plan rather than just stumbling through. And finally, the last one is may also seem obvious, but it's worth reminding because um, sometimes even the most obvious thing is not done on a regular basis. And that's simply remember what works and do more of it. Uh, every time I have a couple come in, they always start out with what's wrong in their relationship. And usually in the very first meeting that we have, I ask them, well, what's working between the two of you? Because that turns the conversation into a whole different direction. Before we go into the work, we want to know what tools we have in our tool belt. And those tools are usually composed of what the couple is doing well. So if you're still together, it's likely that more of the relationship works than doesn't. And the good thing about remembering what works is again, it's an intentional way to adjust your focus to paying attention to that. And if it's working, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Do more of it. If it works to say I love you every day before you leave for work, keep doing it. So I hope that in this video and also in the article that I reference, I've given a few uh, perhaps obvious, not so obvious, but fairly easy to adopt tips on how to get through the holidays. And I'll finish just by reminding you that intention is very powerful. That if you set an intention, you're more likely to get somewhere that you want to go, as opposed to just driving without a map. So I will bid you a very happy holiday season, whatever it is that you do or don't celebrate. Um, and you don't have to watch this video just during the holidays. And the next video will be in 2023. So we'll see you then. Thanks so much for watching.